Rosalia just released the most genre-bending album of 2025 in my opinion, so let's talk about it. Some of my initial thoughts are that I've always wondered about the fact that classical music is the music that has withstood the test of time, right? If you start paying attention to it, you probably will notice that you hear it every day of your life. It's in movies, it's in commercials, lots of people still listen to it daily just, on their own free will. Take Beethoven, for example, who died in the 1820s. That's 200 years ago, and we still revere his work and listen to it all the time. So I always wondered why modern artists don't pull more from that genre and incorporate it more often into their music. Well, that's exactly what Rosalia just did on LUX. Rosalia is definitely what you could categorize as a student of music. She's very well versed, extremely intelligent, one of the smartest people in the music industry if I had to put money on it. I mean, this album features like 13 or 14 different languages, I think she said. But the question is why? Well, my answer is because the album is so grandiose. Music is the universal language. Rosalia surpasses things that most artists nowadays are very concerned with. Streams, radio play, sales. She makes things for the sake of art. She even stated very clearly that this is a human album. There is no AI on this. She didn't try and make it easier on herself. Instead, she is concerned with a truly artistic piece that is LUX. The album was inspired by both classical and opera music, especially, but it is very much a pop album still. It just incorporates those other genres at times, as well as hip-hop and electronic influences too. I think that LUX is one of those albums that, one, you remember where you were where you listened to it first, and two, it's an art piece that requires your full attention, not something that you can just throw in your AirPods and start cleaning the kitchen to. Instead, you stop whatever you're doing and you listen. You sit down with the album, and like I said, it requires your full attention, which we give less and less of in this world today. And I really appreciate that. Getting into a few of my favorites off the album, I'll first listen obviously. Sexo, Violencia, and Llantas. It is such an opener. Berghain, sorry again if I pronounce things wrong, I'm not as smart as Rosalia. The lead single, still probably the best track on the album in my opinion. I love the Björk and Yves Tumor features. La Perla is probably the most traditional track on the album, starting with basically just Rosalia's epic vocals and an acoustic guitar. But then it swells in such a beautiful way with her voice and the violins. It's perfect. And Magnolias caps off the album in the perfect way. It truly feels like a culmination of the album, the end of your journey with the album. 15 tracks total, just under 50 minutes. I was super excited for this release. Motomami was my album of the year in 2022, so you could say I'm a pretty big fan. And I think that she met my expectations and maybe even exceeded them. Although I think I still prefer Motomami. As always, you can find my favorites off the album added to my New Music Friday playlist, which you can find the link to my Spotify in my bio.